right, welcome back to the Pack 9 show. This time we are going to be recapping our games from week 2. We are going to start with Alex. Alex, tell me about them Niners.
Ooh. Now I'll get to Trey Lance in a second, but let's just talk about the actual game. Thank goodness we got Jimmy G, so he came in, played solid, had some good throws. We had some
I am
good.
no longer a Geno believer. Just letting you know that. I said
Oh,
that
God.
last week. There's zero belief anymore in Geno.
And if you seen our defense, we destroyed them. They did not score. Their only score was on special teams, and they scored a touchdown. That was stupid. But that was really one of the only big mistakes. The defense played lights out, shut them out. I was so happy to see that. Now, talking about Trey Lance, very unfortunate injury. There's a lot of opinions on, is Shanahan calling the plays wrong? Are they running too much? All I'm gonna say is that if you watch the interviews, Trey Lance is proven to say that he wants to run the ball and he is willing to take hits. So he has that mentality already. So it's like you can't, in my opinion, you can't put it all on Shanahan. He might come back this season though. Actually, in December, he could maybe make a comeback. We'll deal with that later. But as for now, our defense is looking really good. Hafunga is one of the top safeties in the league. I think he's ranked like number
He
2.
looks awesome. I'm
And
a really big fan of him.
yeah, so if we can just keep the defense playing like that, we should be solid for our games. So, and when I was watching that Packers game, they were looking dominant too. I was happy to see the Bears lose. I'll be honest. What was going on in that game for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an NFL season if we don't start in the first couple weeks with a Sunday night game with the Packers beating the Bears, right? That's just classic. And this week was no different. It did start off a little shaky because we went down the field, and actually our first drive, it looked pretty good. It just stalled right at the 18, and so we had to take the field goal. And then immediately the Bears come back 7 plays, 71 yards and a touchdown, and we're just like, oh man, and what is happening? And then the next drive, though, we came back 9 plays all the way to the house, and we end up not giving them another look at the touchdown. Again, they only got 1 field goal the rest of the time. We scored 21 points in the second quarter, and after their first touchdown, we held them to 4 3-and-outs in a row. So our defense looked like it was on fire. It finally looked like it was clicking on these cylinders, even though we were just going against the shitty Bears. But I will say, a lot of the things about the Packers still stuck out to me. It just wasn't so exacerbated because the Bears aren't that great of a team. But we still kind of suck against the run. We still have shaky special teams. And our offensive line is just not going to look correct until we have both Elkton Jenkins and Bakhtiari there. But, of course, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones had a great game. And, yeah.
And let's be real, the Packers, they have Chicago's number for how many years? When's the last time the Bears beat the Packers?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. That is for sure.
Jay Cutler? I don't even. That was a while ago. I don't even know. Man.
Yeah, I honestly don't know either. But yeah, it was 2 good games for us after week 1 where both of our teams lost, and week 2 both of our teams won, so we're both pretty happy.
Yes,
but
sir.
Alex, which team fan base is the happiest after week 2?
There was a lot of candidates. We were talking it over. I'm going with the Detroit Lions. They almost came back in week 1, couldn't quite do it. Maybe I'm a sucker because I was watching the Hard Knocks, but it was kind of cool to see them actually get a win, and they stopped the comeback also, so that's not easy to do. I think Detroit Lions fans are very happy they got a win finally in week 2. So yeah, what about you? Who are you thinking?
Well, just to keep going on the Lions for a sec, yeah, they got 71 points for after 2 games, which is nuts. Amon-Ra St. Brown looked awesome. Did you see that little stat that through 8 games, he has gotten 8 receptions in each one of those games, and he's one of only 3 players to do that ever. The other 2 are Michael Thomas and Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I seen something like that's crazy. Yeah, That's not easy. That's not easy to do.
It's not easy to do. At first, you're like, oh, like, yeah, 8 games, 8 receptions. That's not so bad. But then you start to think the consistency that you need to do to get 8 receptions every game. It's and not get injured, not have other people uh, take the throws away from you.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And he's on
actually
the
pretty
Lions.
absurd.
So I
And he's
mean,
on the Lions, right?
so
But
yeah,
yeah,
man.
my happiest fan base has got to be the Dolphins. They are undefeated through week 2. They had an insane, miraculous game against
Insane.
the Ravens. Tua just turned it on, went Super Saiyan, and just made it happen. And that was just an incredible ending to the game. I think Dolphins fans are very happy this week.
Yeah, yeah. Loving Mike McDaniel, very ballsy play caller. But they got a lot of speed, and so it's hard to keep up with that speed.
And what about the saddest this week?
Oh man, there's a lot to choose from. Um, Jeez, I think I'm gonna go with the Colts again. You know, I'll give you that they were very banged up. Michael Pittman was out. They had a bunch of people out, but to get shut out by the Jacksonville Jaguars after they lost to the Jags last year to miss the playoffs, they get revenge opportunity and they get shut out. And
Yeah.
yeah, you were right in saying, what is going on there in Indy? Like this is not what was advertised.
0-1-1. They were supposed to be a lot better than this. Their defense has great potential. They just
Yeah.
didn't show up.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with them at all.
Uh, I thought that the team that is the most disappointed after 2 weeks is the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 0-2 after being to the Super Bowl, and both those wins looked pretty bad. They just don't look that great. They haven't turned it on. Nothing really looks like it's clicking. Their defense looks absent. I just don't see them. They might not even win their division.
Yeah.
I'll say the Ravens look way better than them.
Oh yeah.
At least
definitely.
the Steelers are trying to get stuff together. But yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know what's going on over there. Hopefully Jamar Chase gets going on my fantasy team, but that's a whole different topic.